I don't need a new PC case. The $10 computer offers anything you could need in a case, or at least it will shortly. But I do need a new computer, so for the first time in the history of this channel, I've got computer hardware that's not even outdated. Yes, a rarity on this channel, I will be building a computer I actually intend on using, which is why I have this, a modern AM4 motherboard. I say modern and it's the old socket. It's pretty modern. This device right here is the reason I'm building this computer. I've been trying to optimize my recording setup, which means I want to use OBS instead of recording to SD cards and transferring files around. It just makes things easier. Now, my actually good desktop computer that I edit these videos on is not in this room, which means I need a second computer to run this card. And I've been using this, a Dell XPS with a 7th generation Intel Core i7. It's by no means a bad computer, but it is holding me back. It's not really powerful enough for what I'm trying to do with it, which is why we're upgrading to the $10 computer. In reality, every single functional part of this computer is going to be changed, but in spirit, it is still the $10 computer. Now, I don't want to just put all my nice computer hardware in this boring old case, which is why we're adding all of the modern features. Glass side panel, RGB, more cooling, more fans, everything. Not that we're straying from this channel's values though. This thing's still gonna be scuffed. I think it's time to build a computer. There's two reasons I chose this MSI B550 motherboard. Number one, it works with the AM4 CPU that I already had, and it's got enough slots to put a graphics card and my capture card, both in high-speed slots. Other than that, it's nothing too special, but I think it's nice. It's got 2 M.2 slots, 4 RAM slots, and unfortunately no Wi-Fi, but who really cares about that? For RAM, I've got 2 sticks of Crucial Ripjaws DDR4. This was bought years ago, so it was not expensive back then. 16 gigs there. And for CPU, I've got, what is this? A Ryzen 7 5800 XT. Last time I used this CPU, I was using these 3D printed cooler brackets, but luckily this one's already got them installed. I should probably clean that off. This is one of those AM4 CPUs with the very fragile pins. CPU installed. There we go. Has anyone ever tried to use an alcohol-soaked cable tie to clean CPUs? Does this work? Zero complaints there. That works perfectly. Although my cable tie kind of is gray now. Wow, this Arctic MX6 does not come out of the tube very well. Yeah, that does not look very good. This MX4 paste is way older. This is from 2019. And it comes out way, way nicer. Is MX6 a scam? Is that stuff not good? I don't know. I'm gonna use this. Time to bring back the $10 computer and its document frame window. I just kind of glued this glass in here. It works. You may also be noticing the big hole in the top. Don't worry, we'll get to that later. Right now, we've got a motherboard to install. Probably the worst thing about using an old case like this is the cable management. On something more modern, if I wanted to route this cable, I could run it around the top of the motherboard, through this back side, and then under to the bottom. This doesn't have that. There's no openings down here. For a graphics card, I've got the trusty GTX 1660. It's not the most powerful card in the world, but should be plenty for the video encoding. Next card down is of course going to be the capture card, the whole reason this computer exists. The PCIe covers in this case are permanent when removed. This does not go back in. Last, and honestly probably least, 7-port USB 3 card. I have too many USB devices. I like that I've managed to get a different kind of screw for all 3 of those cards. All of this front panel wiring should just plug into my motherboard, but I did do some modifications to the front I/O. I didn't like the original blue light, and the hard drive light was so dim you could not see it. So I swapped them out for a white power LED and a blue hard drive indicator. And I think it looks a lot better that way. I almost forgot, we need to put the Blu-ray drive in. Of course we need a Blu-ray drive, it's got the slots for it. The power supply is going to be this Corsair CX750. You might have seen this in some of my previous videos. It'll now be dedicated to this computer. I don't actually have all 4 screws for this. Don't worry about it. This is where this build is going to get really messy because you can't run cables behind the motherboard. All right, black fans or glowing red fans? Maybe we can do a red color scheme. I want lights, let's use these. Let's go exhaust fan at the top. And I've 3D printed this shroud, so I'll make it look... Oh, there goes the nuts. And I think that that's kind of it. The cables are not the best. This one's just too short to do anything with. And then like the power supply cables, there is nowhere to route these. Oh, the legendary Skip Fratty monitor. Let's get that turned on. Here it goes. Okay, any minute now. Oh yes, there it goes. Now where do we want our RGB? Let's string this around the case. Well, I think that's about as good as that's gonna get. I've got it down this side, on the bottom, on the drive cages, and then across the top. Let's get the side panel, see what it looks like with that. Okay, I think that that is kind of awesome. I love all the scratches and just terribleness. And then it's pristine inside. Worst thing about it is that gray cable right there, but it's actually just not long enough to avoid the window. I have to say, I am really happy with how this turned out. It's the perfect balance between the scratched up, terrible old case, the sketchily cut out side panel hole, and then you get to the glass window and it just looks cool inside. I really like the way it looks. I do need to get it set up back at my desk, but the desk has the computer on the left and I need the side panel on the right, so I'm going to have to mirror my entire desk layout, which is a little annoying, but it'll be worth it. Anyways, get subscribed for next week's video, probably encoded by this computer. And yeah, until next time, thanks for watching.